Hey, what's up, you guys? No, wait, I'm not Shane Dawson. Hi, sisters! No, we're not. Also not James Charles. Oh, it's Jeff. We're doing a video about Jeffree Star. I don't think I should say something racist to open a video. Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you've never been here before, I'm Fat Sajak, and that's literally all you need to know. Today, we're going to be talking about the comeback that rocked the nation of literally nowhere. Literally, like less than 450,000 people as of the present moment gave two single hoots about what we're talking about today. Yes, that's right. Middle-aged Voldemort, aka Jeffree Star, is back on YouTube.com/why. And why is a great question.
Why?
I don't know. I refuse to click on it unless I'm gonna make money from it. So that's what we're here to do today. Leverage bad people with too much money for content that will make me money. Selfish? Maybe. Self-serving? Maybe. But you're here. Anyway, before we get started, make sure you're still subscribed to this channel. Make sure YouTube hasn't given you the boot, because YouTube's wearing a lot of boots lately. That's all I'm saying. Also, make sure you turn on post notifications so that YouTube can never, ever, ever let you know when I've uploaded a video. And I've been uploading like crazy, so you may have a lot to catch up on. Or you may be like, thank God I've been unsubscribed from that lady. She's crazy. Make sure to like the video preemptively to manifest a good video. We're all about manifestations here. I'm manifesting emotional support laundry for all of you. She's back there. She's just changing shape, you know what I'm saying? She's a shapeshifter. Obviously, links in the description. Any of them relevant, some of them irrelevant. Ways to help families in Palestine. Make sure you're registered to vote. We are coming up on only slightly over a month until election day. Also, make sure to reach out to Alani and tell them to sponsor me. Ways you can find me on social media, Amazon storefront, merch, etc. We're dropping merch on Friday. Patrons and channel members get first crack and a discount, so make sure if you want to be there, you should be there. This is the last one in my fridge, and that's absolutely tragic. Alani, just send me some. You don't even have to sponsor me. Just send me some witch's brew, okay? God, so difficult. All right, now I've informed you of all the things. Let's move on. So Jeffree uploaded a video called Beauty Killer 15th Anniversary Album and Makeup Reveal, which is such a catchy little title. So I thought today we could watch this video and see what his little evil return to YouTube is all about. Because I don't hear people talking about Jeffree too often lately, unless it's to talk about him, I don't know, screaming at somebody in his physical store, or seeing him wear gifted cowboy hats on TikTok Live. Do you remember MySpace? Things were better then. Anyway, let's watch this video and see what happens. Maybe our heads will explode. Maybe we'll just evaporate into thin air. Maybe nothing will happen. But we won't know until we try. I hope this video inspired you.
Hello, is this thing on? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Hi, how are ya?
Already annoyed, Jeff. Already annoyed.
Yes, you guys, I'm back.
I know! It's already been talked about for a long time. This wasn't a surprise to anyone. Except maybe all the people who don't care. Yay!
Miss Jeffree Lynn, we are officially back on YouTube, and we have a lot to catch up on. So grab a Red Bull, grab a snack, and hi, how are ya?
I mean, you said that already, but like, I won't deny the suggestion to caffeinate.
It's been about 10 months since I've uploaded on my channel. I know, a lot of you felt like I abandoned you. I am so sorry.
Are you? Because at the end of that Shane Dawson series, what Jeffree Star said was,
should be smiling and laughing. YouTube sucks.
okay.
I apologize. I'm back! Now, we took a very long hiatus after almost 10 years of beauty and lifestyle content. Big Mama, I needed a break. I'm sure most of you know we have left LA about 4 years ago now. I know, where has the time gone? 4 years ago.
It went to a pandemic, and the rest of us just trying to live. How are ya?
We moved to Wyoming. We've been living on a big old ranch. I'm a real cowboy now. I know that's kind of hard to believe, but baby, we're makeup moguling and we're yak wrenching. And yesterday I opened up my second ever retail store. So now we have 2. This is so crazy. So there's a lot to catch up on in my life, but most importantly today, we are here to do a little documentary style content. I miss long form content. Yes, we all know I'm the queen of TikTok now and I'm having a lot of fun over there.
I mean, would we call you the queen of TikTok? Like, I don't like Michaela Nogueira, but I would say she's like in the makeup department, probably more of the queen of TikTok. I don't, just because you make a lot of TikToks doesn't, you know, I don't know.
But I really missed you guys. Literally almost a third of my life was spent on YouTube. So we are officially diving in, and today is going to be monumental.
I can feel it. Sometimes, you know, when you click on a YouTube video and you're like, this is going to be monumental.
Sucking dick and cock.
How are ya?
Life has been amazing out in Wyoming. I truly can't complain. It's been a very wild roller coaster. And we at Jeffree Star Cosmetics have had a astounding run. And I cannot believe I'm about to say this, but in November, it's my 10th anniversary as a company. So as we're looking at dates and things to celebrate, I stumbled across something. Oh girl, I know a lot of you know and have seen this before. If you have no idea what I'm holding, yes, this is a CD first of all. Some of y'all are like, what the hell is this?
I don't know, man. I perpetually live in 1994. The year before Clueless came out.
Yes, back in my day, we played CDs to listen to music.
Oh, is this, so are we going for like a documentary style series like Mr. Rogers? Are we gonna hop into picture and see what kind of, was that too old of a reference? Do you get that? Never mind, I was just gonna rip on Jeffree Star for that exact thing, and then I did the exact thing. It's a humbling moment for me, considering Jeffree Star and I are the same age.
This is my first and one and only full-length album. It is called Beauty Killer. It came out 15 years ago! So we are here to dive into, yes, almost like a VH1 behind the music moment to celebrate and acknowledge 15 years. And then of course, it's time to drop the bomb, baby. We are here to celebrate it. We have a re-release CD coming out. We have new vinyl, and I have 3 songs coming out. Oh my God!
One, this feels like a lot of energy for me. I love Alani and I want them to sponsor me or send me free shit, but like at the same time, I don't know that there's even enough Alani for me to actually have that type of enthusiasm for literally anything. And furthermore, who was asking for this?
There's a lot of reflecting that is going to be happening, and we're going to throw up a lot of really old clips. We dove through the archives, baby. So yes, I am doing a re-release of Beauty Killer, the 15th anniversary. It is going to be coming out very soon.
Why is he so animated? I mean, like, Jeffree Star's clearly never been like a very subdued person, but like, this is a lot for me right now. I get it. Hawk your product, but like, take it easy.
And yes, everything will be launching on September 20th. It's happening. I can't believe it. Now, when I started my makeup brand, I fully abandoned music. I really did. I said goodbye to the past. I said sayonara. I did my last tour in a tour bus with a band, playing shows in front of thousands of people.
Several people have said Jeffree Star sexually preyed on men around him through non-consensual oral sex and groping at his music performances. Accusers also said Star used weapons such as a stun gun, a tasing device, on the people around him for fun and for revenge after facing rejection. That's an article from BusinessInsider.com. Just thought it fit there.
In 2012. I was signed to Akon, the award-winning, of course, Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter. He is unreal, and back then, I was signed to him. Yes, I was one of his artists. It was a really wild journey, but we're gonna go back way deeper. But when I quit music, I fully immersed myself with Jeffree Star Cosmetics. And now that we have 10 years in the game, in the beauty industry, I felt like it was very appropriate to celebrate one of my greatest accomplishments as a musician. And it's time to do our big one, re-release this, give all the OGs something to celebrate, and all the new people something fun to listen to.
I will never understand the Jeffree Star cadence. Give them something new to listen to. Everything is just so incredibly dramatic. I mean, I know that's like his gig and stuff, but like, I feel like it's so outdated at this point. And I guess, like, how can somebody's personality or, like, even just, like, character forward mannerisms or cadence or whatever, like, how can that go out of style? But, like, I feel like Jeffree Star is a very specific case where, like, this is just everything about it feels absolutely outdated. You know, there was a time and a place, Jeffree.
Sucking dick and cock.
During his heyday when, like, people were like clamoring for some Jeffree Star content, you know, during the sort of Jeffree Shane collab conspiracy Dramageddon ordeal. That was one thing, but in 2024 it feels a little tired. Also, I bet this music holds up terrifically. I haven't listened to Jeffree Star music since the MySpace days, literally.
So we're gonna go on a little journey right now, and then at the end of this journey, you guys are going to see what we have been working on for a really long time. We're gonna give you some song sneak peeks. We're gonna show you the new cover of Beauty Killer, because 15 years later, you can't use the same album cover, at least when you're not someone as iconic as me.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. Like that, like, I just feel like his shtick is tired. It's just really tired, and I don't mean that in a euphemistic way.
So there is a brand new album cover, 3 new songs, and it is about to be really fabulous. So let's go on a little journey. Let's rewind our memories, because as I'm sitting here, all the memories are flooding in. And a lot of you know the history, but for those of you that don't, let's take you down a little walk.
Shane Dawson is quaking. Let's all be walk stars together.
Now, in 2005, if y'all can even picture that long ago.
Yeah, I can. I was a year out of high school, living in New York City, making bad choices. Vomiting on the subway at 6 a.m. after I stayed after work, getting drunk with my coworkers. I vomited right into my purse. I then had to fish out all the things from my purse that were covered in vomit and smelled vaguely of Corona. It's not as fun of a job as you might think it is. Anyway, what were you saying?
Little old Jeffrey Lynn had a blonde mohawk. It was very androgynous, and there really was not a guy in makeup at the time.
Yeah.
Everyone else was doing their own thing. Boy George, Marilyn Manson, David Bowie, they were off, retired, or on a hiatus, or not really in the forefront. And Miss Jeffree Star came in that MySpace scene like a wrecking ball.
I mean, yes, Jeffree Star was unequivocally pseudo-famous, okay, at the time in the MySpace days. Like, but here's the thing. You would sign up for a MySpace account and Jeffree Star would friend request you immediately.
And I met some people off of MySpace, and they happened to start a group called Hollywood Undead. Now, they would go on to sell millions of records, tour the world, and they are still an active group right now. Before they put out any music officially on a label, I was in the mix. Now, what got me into music? From a very young age, I listened to an eclectic realm. I used to have Marilyn Manson and the Spice Girls and Mariah Carey, Britney Spears, the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, welcome to being a millennial, especially elder millennials. Like I think we have some pretty vast variety when it comes to music taste, because there were so many things to listen to then. And I feel like there's less now, and I could be wrong, and maybe this is just my middle age creeping in, but like, I feel like even in mainstream, we had more genres that were more widely known, I guess. So I don't think it was as uncommon for us to have such a varied taste, because I feel like nowadays there's a lot of really good female artists, which like we had some good female artists like in the 90s specifically, but I feel like we're having a really, really good like women in music moment right now. But even like outside of a handful of them, a lot of it just sounds like hyper manufactured pop, which is totally fine. Like if that's what you're into, that's what you're into. But like I feel like we don't have enough unique sounds. We don't play around in enough genres. Like what happened to screamo? Bring that shit back.
And Korn, Limp Bizkit. I mean, it was all a blend of all my favorite music. I was very eclectic. I was also obsessed with female rap. Now, my obsession with female rap is going to be very important because it really inspired me to want to rap as well. Yes, Jeffree Lynn, star, can really lay down a freestyle. I love writing raps and I love that whole hip-hop culture.
Sorry, I just needed a minute.
I've always loved it. So pop and hip-hop together was always my favorite. Now, I really grew up listening to Lil' Kim, Foxy Brown, Remy Ma, Queen Latifah. I loved female rappers. On MySpace one day, I was clicking around and I met these dudes. They were called Hollywood Undead. We met at their apartment. They played me some music that they were playing and it was really funny, really catchy, very rappy. I proposed to them one day, maybe I can be like the female rapper in your group. Feature on a few songs, whatever, right? So one day on a very boring day in Los Angeles when we were all broke and doing absolutely nothing, we wrote a song called Turn Off the Lights. Yes, I wrote my very first rap verse. I featured on my very first song and it came out in 2005.
Listen, I don't mean to be a bitch, but this holds the same amount of intrigue as a Ken Burns documentary on paint drying. So I just want to let you know where my head's at.
Now, this song was very monumental for that group. Hollywood Undead was writing very catchy stuff and it just snowballed and it really blew up. I finally had the confidence to be an artist. I couldn't believe it. So living in Los Angeles, you can network and you can hustle and you somehow will meet the right people, whether it's at the right or the wrong time. And a bunch of musicians and people just kept falling into my life. And all of a sudden, months later, this Hollywood Undead track has blown up. They've blown up. They're massive. They signed to Interscope Records. Now back then, they did have me re-record my verse. I was in the studio and they sadly never used it on their debut album.
Ugh, that is a devastating blow. I think we should all take a minute and try to figure out how we're gonna pick up the pieces of our lives and go on.
But that's okay, because most of you will never forget my verse.
What verse?
Now let's fast forward to 2006 and 2007. I was one of the biggest names on MySpace.com. It was the epitome of social media back then. It is what TikTok is back then.
No, it's not. It's not. That's a weird comparison to make because they were in no way similar platforms. Like, yes, in terms of size, I guess, but not even still not really because social media wasn't something that people were like just automatically on like they are now. Most people have either a Twitter or an Instagram or a TikTok or a Facebook or some combination or all of those. It wasn't like that in the MySpace days. Nobody had anything like that. AOL Instant Messenger was the closest thing to social media until MySpace came along. Now MySpace, if you weren't there for MySpace, it was the superior social media platform. I would give away every single social media platform I have today to have my MySpace back. And that's not just like nostalgia, I miss the early 2000s when I could wear, you know, an accent scarf and my hair parted all the way over here to come all the way over here and wearing 5 shirts under my shirts. Like, no, it's not a missing of the times. It was just a better platform. We all had to learn how to code because you could decorate your profile in various ways. There were so many options and you could personalize it. It could be glittery, it could be interactive, it could have video, it could have GIF. It was so cool. And you could change your song on your profile all the time. So when people went to your profile, it played a specific song and you could change that song. And so if you had a certain plugin, you could do multiple songs. And then you had your top friends, which started as a top 8. So like at any given point you could be like, yeah, these are the 8 people I like the fucking most, and then they'd stay there. And then when you pulled somebody off, there was all this drama, and you could make notes, which were just like these really long like posts, and everybody did fucking surveys and stuff. It was just such a more wholesome time. And then Facebook came along, and ruined everything. What was the point of this rant? Oh, right. Yeah, no, yeah, so it wasn't like TikTok.
It was absolutely insane. I got a lot of attention. I was very outspoken, very still who exactly I am today.
Really? Because this was the era where you were using the N-word a lot.
You fucking bitch. Slut. God. You stupid ape, I'm gonna spray you. Bitch. Will you beat that? She's a fucking nigger. You're a nigger, you fucking ugly ass bitch.
So we want to go with that? Or did you just mean that you were loud and obnoxious then and you're loud and obnoxious now?
Now, I got the confidence to do music. I couldn't believe it. Little Jeffree wanted to rap. I wanted to do dance music. I wanted to do hip hop. I wanted to rap. I wanted to be a pop star. And who could blame me, right? Hello, I was in the City of Angels. So here we are. I'm meeting all these people, meeting musicians. I go to shows all the time. I grew up in Huntington Beach, California. I was at Chain Reaction in Anaheim. I was at the House of Blues. I was at the Whiskey A Go Go on Sunset, the Roxy, the Key Club. I went to shows all the time. I was very into the music scene. And through networking, I met producers. I met songwriters. And all of a sudden, I wrote my debut EP called Plastic Surgery Slumber Party.
I like all of a sudden I wrote my EP.
My first song was called We Want. Yes, my screen name used to be the C word. So on brand, I know. And of course, later in life, I legally changed my name at 19 to Jeffree Star, and we never turned back. So my debut song comes out. Very offensive, very wild, very rappy, and it blew up.
It was very rappy. Don't forget, Jeffree Star's debut song was very rappy. That's how I describe myself at Christmas. It's okay, I hate me too.
And then I released my second song, Eyelash Curlers and Butcher Knives. What's the difference? That blew up. It was wild. And then all of a sudden, I have an EP worth of stuff. It's called Plastic Surgery Slumber Party.
Okay, listen, I don't know if I was just like really busy in this era or like I was just like out doing stuff. Or I was just like, I don't know, reading books. But like, I don't remember any of this like blowing up. I don't really remember much of this. I remember Jeffree having music on MySpace. I remember when his album came out, and that's about it. And I only remember it because he added literally everyone on MySpace.
I put it out, and I kind of did it not as a joke because I was taking it very serious, but I had no idea what was going to happen. I was a working makeup artist. I had done makeup since I was 12 years old. So I kind of put my makeup creativity on pause, did some music, and all of a sudden we're getting emails, phone calls, people wanted to book me. I had no idea what I was doing. Fast forward to me figuring it out. I'm a boss bitch. We figured it out. All of a sudden, I'm on the road. I'm doing little shows. I'm opening up for this rapper. His name was Mickey Avalon. I'm opening up for Peaches, one of the most iconic underground electro stars.
I love Peaches, I will say. If you've never listened to Peaches, fix your life.
And little Jeffree Lynn Star is an actual musician. Whether people took me serious or not back then, I did. Whether people fully believed in it back then, I did. Was it maybe too ahead of its time? I think so. So all of a sudden, success comes very quickly, and I was unsure of what to do next. So I started my own little record label. It was called Popsicle Music, and it was under Warner Brothers, and it was in their umbrella house called Independent Label Group. Let's fast forward to this little guy. This is my second EP. It's called Cupcakes Taste Like Violence.
Sorry, is it just me or do like all of these like songs and titles in general sound like something like a 9th grader with a lot of built-up angst would write? Because that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. How are ya?
This was very monumental for me and was really special. Oh my God, just looking at this is really wild, you guys. Oh my gosh, this is really special.
There's no way he didn't already look at that before he started filming.
So this came out and the success kept growing, and I really wanted to write a full-length album. It was time, it was so important, and I really wanted to be a pop star. So I went on the journey of writing my debut album, Beauty Killer. It came out all the way in 2009. It is really special when I'm looking at this. It is It was monumental for me. Now, this album features Nicki Minaj. It features Matt Skiba of Alkaline Trio, who was in Blink-182. It features Breathe Carolina. It features, I mean, so many producers were on this, from Shakira's producer to people that have now had Grammys. It's truly mind-numbing.
I think what he meant to say was mind-blowing, but I would agree with his point that it's absolutely mind-numbing. Sometimes the jokes, they write themselves, you know?
So on some unfortunate circumstances, I did not have the big debut that I wanted. I was under an umbrella. I didn't have the right promotion. I didn't have the right management. I didn't have the right team to really make this vision come to life. So yes, a lot of the internet heard it. Some of these songs had hundreds of thousands of plays, and back then, you didn't get paid for your streaming. We just were happy that people were listening, and it was really special. I was selling out shows all around the world. I played shows in the UK, Australia, all over America, and thousands of people were coming. They were buying merch, they were listening, they were singing my words that I had written back to me.
That's proof that literally anyone can become famous for literally anything.
And that was the most special thing about being an artist, was to connect with strangers who just understood who I was. So this album did not get the shine that it did. And I think now, looking back 15 years later, it definitely needs to have one more moment and one more hurrah. So we thought it would be really special to add 3 new songs to this. Now, a lot of you may know my MySpace hit single, Beauty Killer, which was of course the title track from the album. I thought it'd be really fun to dive in and kind of re-record it in a country kind of twang. So we re-recorded the song Beauty Killer, and then I wanted to capture that MySpace sound but make it current. So the other 2 new songs that I recorded for the limited edition vinyl and CDs and digital, oh baby, there's a lot here. The 2 new songs are really fun. One is really kind of like dance floor to the wall moment, and the other one is a very, very hip hop.
So, one that's a club song, one that's a hip-hop song, and one that's fortified with yak meat. Great. This is where the video picks up, I'm sure.
This is me just dabbling and just dipping my feet into the pink water. I don't know what the future is gonna hold, but I'm ready to really get active and have fun. Can you imagine a Jeffree Star concert now? I can actually do everything I ever wanted to do. You never know, y'all.
So is this Jeffree Star's way of like putting this in everyone's ear to be like, hey, I want a tour, so show me that you're interested so that I can do that. So venues will have me. I also realized throughout this video that a lot of Jeffree Star's appeal lies in his cadence that I was criticizing earlier. He does not sound very intelligent when he says things. Like, he's misusing phrases and like, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with speaking candidly, and obviously everybody makes mistakes when they speak or whatever. It's not really like a criticism of his intelligence, but he sounds well-spoken because of the way he speaks, but the things that he's saying they could use a little work. It might be time for a Grammarly sponsorship.
So get ready to experience some new music. Does this define exactly who I am as an artist right now? No, it is a bleep in time. I wanted to capture something and have a lot of fun.
Okay, yeah. Like this is what I'm talking about. Like, it's a blip in time is what we're looking for, not a bleep in time. We're not censoring the album, we're just revisiting it.
I'm so fucking excited for people to hear new music. So after this album came out, it was a very wild roller coaster. I didn't get the success that I wanted. I had put blood, sweat, and tears into this project. And then a couple years later, I'm somehow in Atlanta, and Nicki Minaj's manager introduces me to Mr. Akon. Now, a lot of you may not know, but yes, Nicki Minaj is featured on my debut album.
You literally said that already, so we do know.
It is a song called Lollipop Luxury. Her verse is actually just next level. It's so fun. And me and her worked on this song prior to really all of her massive success.
And assuming before she married a sexual predator.
I think her feature with Young Money and Bedrock had just came out. Your Love had dropped, and she was just bubbling. And I knew when I heard her mixtape prior to any massive success she had.
Let me guess, you knew she was gonna be a huge star? You knew it? You just knew it.
I knew she was going to be next in line. Little did I know it was going to be so monumental and she would change the rap game forever for the females. But baby, we got her on my album and it was really special. She thanked me in her Pink Friday notes when her massive debut album came out, which I thought was so special. And yes, we still show love to each other till this day.
That adds up nicely.
So all of a sudden I'm in Atlanta. Nicki Minaj's manager at the time, Miss Deborah Anthony, she introduced me to Mr. Akon. And all of a sudden, little Jeffree Star, broke and on the verge of not sure what was going to happen, I'm in Akon's mansion. It was wild. He signs me as an artist and he's my manager. It was a very weird situation. Looking back, I would have done business way different, but I had the time of my life. I got to fly around the world with him. I got to learn so much business. I got to see the music industry behind the scenes in a totally different way with someone that has had so much success, but it wasn't the right time for me. So even though he had signed Lady Gaga, and even though he had worked with and signed T-Pain and had had so much success himself, it was the wrong place at the wrong time. And Jeffree Star was not meant to be a pop star at that time.
I don't like when Jeffree Star talks in the third person because it's weird.
So after a couple years of really trying and making a second album that never came out, I was very frustrated, very depressed, and on the verge of just quitting everything. So what did I do? I followed my gut and I quit. I fired everyone, the lawyers, the managers, the team. I said goodbye to touring and I said goodbye to it all. It was devastating, it was heartbreaking, and it was one of the most difficult decisions I've ever made in my entire life. But was it not the best decision in the world?
I guess.
So I said goodbye to music. I said sayonara. I put out my last song in 2013 called Love to My Cobain. I was finally making a sound I was really, really proud of. I was growing and developing as an artist. I was finding my voice, and then all of a sudden, it was all gone. I remember sitting in North Hollywood in that 2-bedroom apartment, me and Diva and Diamond just staring out the balcony, wondering, is this all over?
Oh my God, what's gonna happen next?
Now, my passion for makeup had never dissipated. I did put it on the back burner. So all of a sudden, I'm back to doing makeup. And then social media was morphing and changing and turning into a whole nother monster. MySpace was fading. Instagram was on the rise. TikTok wasn't invented yet. And YouTube was massive. So little Jeffree Lynn hopped on YouTube one day and saw a few girls doing makeup tutorials. And boy, did that change me forever.
Can we stop? So dramatic. This is where we go to commercial break. Please watch this Activia commercial and 4 different Ozempic commercials midday, and then come back to my documentary on my very interesting life.
So I think most of you know the journey by now. What happened? I reactivated my YouTube channel, and for almost 10 years I reviewed makeup. I showed you my relationships. I showed you my wild, rapid success as someone trying to figure it out, learning to be a CEO, and the full trajectory of the growth of my brand. You guys saw it all. We then did 2 documentaries. The conspiracy documentary was one of the most wildest journeys I've ever been on, one of the most proudest of my career. And it was just unreal. We sold the most eyeshadow palettes in history, in the beauty world, in an hour. It was monumental.
A monumental cash grab.
Over 1 million units. I will never forget that day. Now, the beauty community on this app definitely disintegrated, and I lost my passion for beauty. I stopped reviewing makeup for a while. I kind of just felt out of place, and I did go to other apps. I went to TikTok. I really have just been having the best time over there reviewing makeup. And human beings started to digest content different. All of a sudden, even though a lot of my hardcore watchers love a nice long foundation video, 30-minute review, the viewers were falling for all of the beauty creators, not just me. People were going to TikTok. They were really focusing on Instagram. And YouTube for beauty had just shifted, and I lost my spark. So now, baby, we are fully back in business, and right now, I would love to show you a little debut makeup collection that we have been working on.
Yay! It's time for the part where he sells you stuff.
Now, the anniversary of the music, it's not complicated, but it's broken down in 2 parts. So yes, there is Beauty Killer, the 15th anniversary CD and vinyl with a brand new cover. There is also a digital EP called Lollipop Killer, and there's a mini eyeshadow palette! Hello, we are one of the coolest, dopest, weirdest makeup brands on the planet! So of course, we had to do a little makeup collection with this celebration.
Okay, yeah, sure, that makes good sense for who Jeffree is. But like, I gotta ask, like, I've never used a Jeffree Star makeup product in my life. I'm not a makeup oriented person for the most part. Hi, how are ya? How many eyeshadow palettes can you really make? It's like trying to make like number combinations with only like 3 different numbers, and like I can't. The possibilities are there, I just don't think that they're endless. So like, before he opens this, I'm gonna guess that there is a hot pink representing the hair color of Jeffree Star there. A bright blood ass red, a pale ass white, some vivid blue, perhaps a stark purple, and a pale pink, and of course maybe all of those being matte, and maybe like a handful of glitters. Like how many things can you do? How many makeup palettes can there really be for eyeshadows? You know what I mean? Maybe you don't know what I mean, but at least I know what I mean. Are we almost done with this?
Now the Lollipop Killer palette, she's a 9-pan, she's mini, and of course it has the album cover on it! Oh my god, yes you guys, is this
It's the sound effects for me.
not next level? This is the album cover for Lollipop Killer Beauty Killer 15th Anniversary re-release! Now let's open up Miss Lollipop Killer Mini Palette!
Damn. Outside of the blue, I was pretty spot on.
Yes! Look at her, y'all. She is very bright. She is very obnoxious. It's giving MySpace scene. Makeup colors, very bright, very wow, and very beauty killer. Now here it is in all of its glory. 9 beautiful shades that definitely represent the MySpace Jeffree Star. It's very pink, very goth, very bright. Very old school Jeffree Star. Back then, there wasn't a billion eyeshadow colors. There was only a couple brands really killing it.
I mean, you could buy clown makeup somewhere back then.
And then I came in the game. Hi! Yes, sir! And the shades are all named after Beauty Killer, the album, the songs, the lyrics. It is a very on brand and is very stunning. So hi, how are ya?
I'm bored!
Now, the palette is really special because this is going to coincide with the music, but of course, there has to be a couple lipsticks, and we even made a liquid blush. Now, my famous velour liquid lipstick is what catapulted my brand to the next level. It is our very first product we ever launched, so of course, we had to do a couple new shades for this collection. One is called a Lollipop Killer, and the other one is called a Strawberry Youth. They are very bright, very me, and I am wearing a Lollipop Killer right now with a very new lip liner coming out next year.
I'm gonna start talking like that, where I end every sentence like this.
Here is Strawberry Youth, and here is a Lollipop Killer.
Wow! You ever just have your brain blown clear out your ass? That's where I'm at.
Now, my Magic Candy liquid blush is very famous. We have over 20 shades, the most out of any brand in America. So, of course, Miss Lollipop Luxury liquid blush, named after me and Nicki Minaj's famous song, Yes Sir, Yes Ma'am. Here she is. It is a very bubblegum bright coral shade. She really is that girl. And if you've never used my liquid blushes, a little goes a long way. So this entire mini little makeup collection, plus all the new music, it's available for pre-order right now.
Yay!
We have 4 different vinyl variants. We have a limited edition CD, and baby, we have a digital EP as well. We really went all out. So everything is available to pre-order right now. It all launches September 20th. And just like the old days, everything is linked down below. Oh my God! I really missed it here. Wow.
Yeah, I can tell. Like, not a single ounce of actual reception for this video. And it's like, oh, I've missed it here. I have really missed saying that the description is where you can find the things. I've really missed this long form platform where I can hawk my stuff. I've really missed this platform where I won't read the comments or pay attention to any of the viewers. I feel the love, man.
I would love to end this video with giving you guys a little sneak peek of some new music. Hi, hello. So here is a little clip of something new.
Nah, I'm good. Anyway, wow. What an enlightening time to be alive. I guess Jeffree Star is back. And honestly, a lot of this stuff isn't that insanely priced, especially for Jeffree Star, but I still think instead you should give your money to me. Or to someone you love and care about. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Now we can all rest easy that Jeffree Star is back. What do you think? Your thoughts? Prayers? Help me out? Are you still awake? I'm working on it. Alright, I gotta go. Make sure to subscribe and like the video, and there'll be another one soon. Stay tuned for the outtakes if there are any, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Sucking dick and cock. Jeffree Star is officially back.
That's irrelevant. AIM. Let's get this over with.